Friends, it's breakfast time, and yes, I've had a bit of a cold here lately, so you're going to hear my voice, this lovely voice in the background all day today. But there's a lot going on right now for breakfast.
Toast, I'm going to do defrost.
You're going to do defrost for your waffles? You think that would be a cool button to try? Okay, so it is frozen, yeah. So I just pulled this bag of frozen sourdough waffles out of the freezer. A couple of the kids had toast. Wow, guys, did you just leave these for the end? Anyone gonna eat a little bit more? Okay, a couple of the kids wanted toast, but everybody else is gonna have waffles. So we've got the toaster out. I also have chicken stock going on the stovetop. I know you guys have told me that it works well in the Instant Pot. Haven't tried that yet. I'm about to stick this bread into the oven. And then I do have my Instant Pot going right now because I am cooking up a whole bag of pinto beans. That will be for something for our dinner tonight. So first thing in the morning, busy kitchen. Why don't you go ahead and start toasting a waffle? Would you toast one for yourself and for Wesley, please? And then I did wash a container of strawberries too. Maybe I'll chop those up for the kids and they can put those on their waffles. Oh, actually, yeah, hand one to Wesley. He has a special, he really wants to press the defrost button to see what happens. Okay, what's it gonna do on defrost? I think it's gonna be soft, but it won't be toast.
No one.
Okay, the kids love controlling all the controls here on this toaster. Wesley, how did your defrost work? Did it toast? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Why don't you just take the waffle, pick it up with your hand and just rip it apart into little bites. So much easier than having to use a knife. It just rips apart so well. And then you can put a couple spoonfuls of strawberries on your waffle. And then
I'm going to put peanut butter on
syrup. You want peanut butter on your waffle too? What? Okay, why don't you do this one with strawberries, and then if we have a second waffle, we can do peanut butter.
Okay.
You can't really spread peanut butter after you've ripped it up. I didn't realize that was your wish today. I didn't actually think I would have waffles for breakfast because I thought the kids would finish them up, but some of the kids had toast, and there are still enough waffles left for me to have some. So I'm just going to get that toasting now. The sourdough bread just came out of the oven. I don't have sourdough bread planned on the meal plan at all for today. Sorry, my video taking skills this morning are less than stellar. So I think I'm actually just going to slice this loaf in half and stick it in the freezer because I've been trying to build up a little bit of sourdough bread in the freezer, and there have been some times where I have quite a few loaves in there, and right now I just feel like I can't keep up with the family, and I don't have 2 Dutch ovens, I don't have 2 baskets, I don't really have a way to make more than 1 loaf a day, so I'm basically making a loaf a day, and I feel like we just eat it and I can't get ahead and freeze some, but today I think I should be able to do that. I'll stick this one in the freezer. You guys, what is happening? What is happening? The Instant Pot is still working on releasing its pressure there, so you hear that squeaking in the background, but I guess add like wiping down all my cupboards to today's tasks. What? And I knew, like, it literally shot everywhere. This thing got full and has just been like shooting out all the extra because there's extra. Okay, I knew this morning. I pulled out this Instant Pot and I thought I should have pulled out my bigger one because this is my smaller one. And I did a whole package of beans in here. Why don't we go ahead and just open this up? So, yeah, look how full that is. Okay, I filled this right to the line. Where is the line here? Okay, there's a line somewhere here, and it says pressure cooker max. So I filled it right to that pressure cooker max line, and apparently I shouldn't have even filled it that full because all of the excess liquid when I released the pressure just shot everywhere. My waffles just came up, but I'll leave them there for a minute while I get everything cleaned up, and then I'll re-toast them. finally time for me to have my breakfast. So I have 3 waffles here. I put a scoop of cottage cheese onto each one and then some sliced strawberries. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of syrup on top. A little more maybe over here. And here we go. Gonna have my breakfast. It's been a busy and productive morning so far in the kitchen, but I am going to pour myself a coffee now and I'm gonna sit down. I was gonna say not be in the kitchen. That's definitely not true because I'll probably still be in the kitchen all morning doing school with the kids. Where did I put my lid here? But I'll be in the kitchen, but I won't be like working in the kitchen. I'll have a little break now to sit and do some school with some kiddos. Here are the beans, the pinto beans. They're just sitting here and cooling off a bit. So I did a whole package and we'll have, I'm thinking this will be divided into about 4. So 3 freezer bags will go into the freezer and then the rest of it will be for our dinner tonight, which I'll show you a bit later. I'm trying a new recipe. This loaf of bread has been sitting and cooling for a couple of hours. So I'm just gonna slice it in half. And for Mother's Day, I got this nice big long bread knife. I had talked about how, here's my other bread knife. Look at the difference in size. So I was slicing my sourdough with this small knife, but it always was like cutting half of it and then cutting the other half and meeting in the middle. This knife, look at that. I can slice the whole loaf in one shot. My freezer bags aren't big enough to put a whole loaf in, and typically if it's breakfast or lunch and it's just the kids and me, usually half a loaf will be enough. If it's the whole family, I can always just get out 2 bags, but I'm gonna stick those in freezer bags. This is all prepped and ready for the freezer. So I've got my sourdough bread and then I divided the pinto beans up and I divided them up. They went further than I thought they were going to. So I've got 5 bags and then I have a bowl over here. I'll just stick this in the fridge and that'll be what we eat with dinner tonight. But these are just gonna get stuck in the freezer. I put them flat like this so that they stack. And then this is just what I use instead of canned beans. I do usually have canned beans on hand just because sometimes I'm in a pinch. Maybe I didn't pull this out of the freezer. Maybe I'm out, like right now, I'm basically out of beans in the freezer. So it's just a cheaper option instead of canned beans. So out of curiosity, I did just put these on the scale and these are all about 12 ounces. And typically, so my cans say 19 ounces, but they're 19 fluid ounces because they do have liquid in them too. So I'm thinking 12 ounces of these like just dry beans, not dry, but they're not in liquid, should be about the same as 1 can of beans. When I have shown this process before with the beans, I've had questions about the texture of these beans. So I would say if you like to make things like a bean salad, maybe you wouldn't like these beans as much for something like that where you just serve them fresh, I guess, not mixed in with other ingredients. They probably are just a little bit more mushy. I typically use these beans that I've cooked in the Instant Pot either for chilies or stews or like skillet dishes. And so for us, I don't really notice a difference. They are just fine. But yeah, if you're serving them like, you know, straight out of the can, maybe you wouldn't like them quite as much. I'm starting to prep lunch now. So I just took this naan bread out of the freezer. I don't remember how many I have left here. Looks like 6 maybe. 1, 2, yeah, 6. So I'm gonna bake all of those. I'm gonna turn my oven on. Let's do 375. You can eat these just like they are, like bread, but what I do is I butter them, sprinkle a little bit of salt on them, and then stick them into the oven just to get them toasty. We took the naan bread out of the oven and then just cut it up into these little triangle pieces. We will have that dipped in hummus. I have less left of the hummus than I thought we did, but it's this red pepper hummus. That's a really, really good one. Carrot sticks, apple slices, and I think I will eat these 2 boiled eggs there. That is our quick and easy lunch that everybody enjoys. I'm just going to strain this chicken broth now, or chicken stock. I've just got olive oil and flour in my pan. I'm gonna mix in this bowl full of spices. I just put in here chili powder, oregano, garlic powder, and chili powder. So that just all gets mixed together here, and then I'll pour in my chicken stock. I also have water in my kettle over there because I'm really feeling like I could use a tea today. And honestly, I got up today and thought, I think I'm getting better. Like, I think I'm getting over this cold. And I don't know. I'm going to make myself a cup of this tea. Really nice flavor to this tea. And that's how I drink my tea, just straight up like that. No sugar, no milk, just like that. And now this sauce just needs to come to a boil, and then I'm gonna let it simmer. This is different. I have made enchilada sauce before, but the base was tomato sauce and some spices mixed in with that. So this recipe, this recipe is a bit different. What I am making for dinner tonight is a chicken enchilada casserole. I have never made this recipe, so I found a new recipe to try. So I did just realize today, oh, the recipe calls for corn tortillas. I definitely have flour tortillas, but I think it should be just fine. I, of course, have my enchilada sauce recipe ready. And so now I chopped up a bunch of chicken. We had chicken for supper last night. That's why I have all this chicken to chop up. That's why I made chicken stock today. And then it just calls for the beans, corn, and what I do, I'll show you in a minute, but what I do is I cut the tortillas in half and kind of layer it on the pan. I think this will be a good recipe for today. And let's go ahead and get this started. My kids have been snacking today too. I've been bad about keeping on top of that. It's been a little bit of an off day for me. It's currently 3:40 and we should be eating 4:45 tonight because we have sports in the evenings now, so it's the season of early dinners. Anyway, the kids have been fed today. They've been snacking this afternoon. Currently, do you want me to show you currently what they're eating? Just pulled these out of the freezer. I made these chocolate covered pretzels a couple weeks ago, so Elijah went and grabbed that out of the freezer. I should have also mentioned, I did top up my tea again. So this is typically what I'll do when I have tea. I make one tea, drink the whole thing, and then I boil some more water and make a second cup of tea. My second cup is just a little bit weaker because I use the same tea bag, but second tea. In here I've got some chopped up onion. I fried that up, and then I added corn, the beans, and chicken. And now I'm gonna add 2 cups of this enchilada sauce. See how that thickened up nicely? Okay, this will get all mixed together, and then I just turn the element off. For the assembling of this dish, actually first let's get all these banana peels out of the way. Wes, would you go put all those banana peels in the compost, please? First, I'm gonna put half of this sauce, and now I'm cutting my tortillas in half. That's how my first layer looks, like that. Then I'm going to add a third of this chicken mixture. Now I'll do a layer of cheese. And then I'm just going to repeat tortillas, sauce, and cheese. On this last layer, I'm just going to use up the rest of the sauce before I put cheese on. This just came out of the oven and I sliced it up. It's kind of filling all in again, but I just sliced it into squares. I figured we would put sour cream on top after it's served, as well as Can you see in there those chives? You could do other things too. You could do avocado, or, I mean, to be honest, I probably should have been doing more veggies. Maybe we'll slice up a cucumber because there's not a lot of veggies in here. But that's going to be our dinner. I'm going to start plating this up. I'm just sitting down to edit this full day of food now, and I feel like it stopped so abruptly that I have to just put a little clip in here to end it. And that was where my eating ended that day. I went to bed super early. As you can tell, I'm feeling better now, but I wasn't feeling so great by the end of that day. But the chicken enchilada casserole was delicious. I will link that recipe down in the description box. Thanks for watching.